Does anyone else wonder why, whenever it rains in Gaza, random people start shaking babies at cameras and yelling in Arabic? Is this like a cultural thing? I don't understand. I thought shaking babies is bad for their development.
I wonder what it must be like to be so out of touch and privileged that instead of recognizing or talking about the suffering that the raining in Gaza is causing, on top of the horrific reality that these people are already going through, that you actually find humor and amusement in the fact that these people are holding up their children, shaking them to try and draw attention to the fact that not just they are suffering, but also their children are suffering. But what I actually find most insufferable is this kind of phony, fake, disingenuous concern that you have for these child's well-being and development, which, by the way, they're not newborn infants, so shaking them a little bit really isn't going to do them any harm. But it's really funny that you're suddenly quote unquote concerned about these children due to the fact that their parents are shaking them a little bit, but not concerned when the IDF is bombing them or when these children are being slaughtered by Israel. Where was your deep concern for these children when they were getting limbs amputated without any anesthesia? Were you concerned then? Were you talking then? Why are you putting more blame on the parents of these children that are shaking a little dust off of them than you are with the state that's making orphans out of them? Instead of taking notice of the fact that these parents are desperately trying to get the world's attention and draw attention to the fact that their children are suffering, you make a joke out of it. Because you're so stuck up, it was more important for you to make a mockery of their suffering instead of hearing it. You know what else is bad for these children's development? People who snicker and sneer at their suffering and make a spectacle out of it, meanwhile they're dying of hypothermia from the rain. People like you who blame the victims that are suffering instead of putting the blame on the people who are causing their suffering. Where was your concern for their development while they were starving and being malnourished? Where was your concern for their development when they were losing limbs and being bombed? Where was your concern for their development when they were losing their parents, sleeping in tents in the cold? Where was your concern for these children's development while they were picking the pieces of their parents out of the rubble? Where was your concern for their development when these mothers picked up their children and the children didn't realize it was the last time that their mothers would ever hold them? Because no sooner would they be orphaned by the IDF. Where was your concern for these parents while they were holding the dead bodies of their children in their arms? You didn't have any concern. And you don't have any concern now. So stop being disingenuous and stop feigning concern so you can make a joke out of these people's suffering.